So yeah, welcome Héctor to my podcast. You recently started a Kickstarter campaign for Phylloland, which is a frog sanctuary in San Martin, Tarapoto. Yeah, I would love to know more about that project, and yeah, if you don't mind, you can like give me your intro, and we can begin question answers around what the project is about.
Okay, I wanted to present myself. I'm Héctor. I'm from Spain, and well, I made this project in 2021, and we are working on it since 2020. And well, this is a ambitious conservation project for San Martin. Adan and Danny are two of the partners, with Marcelo, Eduardo, and Jim, the rest of the partners of the project. This project seeks to preserve the fauna and flora in Tarapoto by the sustainable and ethic semi-captivity breeding of frogs mainly. And well, it's divided in three pillars. The biotrade. The biotrade basically led us to fight the the poaching of the animals. Sadly, Peru is a really poached place, and well, sadly, not much people working on it. So we need to try to make the difference. And well, the second pillar is the reforestation. With the reforestation and also with the terraformation of the ground, we can make a better place for the amphibians that in Tarapoto sadly haven't a good place to live because the slope of the ground. There aren't so much amount of ponds, so they usually use the pond the holes did by the human, and we want to provide good places for them to breed. And the last one, the last pillar, is to the education. We want also to do some meetings, maybe work with the community to make them understand the importance of the amphibians, and well, try to avoid them to continue making some fires in the rainforest, because sadly sometimes the situation is really hard due to the fires. But this is basically the idea of the project. We are working so hard, but sadly it's not easy because it's too much money invested and we haven't so much incomes to work on.
So when you talk about poaching, there's a lot of problems with the poaching in that area as well, or is it only in Iquitos and
Sadly, Peru is a really focalized the poaching. Sadly, Loreto, the department of Loreto, is one of the most corrupted departments in whole Peru. So mainly all the poaching is concentrated in that place. So we can have the opportunity to do a good conservation project in a place that is not tainted by the corruption.
Hmm. Yeah, I think to be kind of fair for I think the people over there, they don't have much ways of making money either. So I think that's one of the
Yes,
reasons why poaching and mining are those things for deforestation
yes.
and that. And when you say forestation projects, what I mean, is there a big component of your project also into, yeah, like food forest, or is it just a simple forestation with the same native plant species?
For the moment, we plan to reforest with main trees that can make a huge place for the fauna. The small trees we want to try to contribute for the moment with what we can. That is mainly sold trees that can be planted and be a good place for most of the animals, but no with monoculture because this is not good for the animals.
Yeah, yeah, that's um I heard about, I mean, I was studying about food forest system, and the
Yes,
the whole shrubs and that other layer of trees, they're all self-sustaining. They create a self-sustaining ecosystem. And
yes.
what was the like coming back to the main initial core of the subject is like, what was the reason for starting a frog sanctuary in particular, Phylloland?
Well, the reason to start the sanctuary is due to the not much people work on amphibian conservation projects. Sadly, those are animals that not much people care about. They even are scared about them, kill them,
Hmm.
and in our way, we think that those animals are so important for the environment. They are a good health indicators due to the sensitivity of the skin, and well, we decided to work and protect them.
Yeah, when you say sensitivity of skin, yeah, it's kind of like they absorb the environmental chemicals, and it also
Yes,
shows the health of the nature is also communicated through the population of the amphibians in that area.
yes,
Yeah. And did you hear from Danny the changes that happened in frog population, and when he was, because Danny has been living there for, he probably
yes,
knows like, so does he say like the population has decreased till now and like changes and all that?
yes. Sadly, the situation of the amphibians is in a risky moment because sadly the deforestation, the fires are decreasing so hard the number of the populations. So if no one help on preserve them, it will be the last time we can see them in the wildlife. Sadly, not much amphibian conservation projects and the fungus, the diseases. There are a lot of factors that make the population decrease.
So there was a fire 2 months or last month, I think, in that San Martin region and other parts of Peru. Do you know
Yes.
anything about like how much effect it has had near that area?
Well, in September, I think it was the worst season of fires. If you saw the fire up, an app that says in real time the amount of fires in the world, you could see that Peru was really, really bad in a bad situation. It was completely covered of fire, sadly.
Oh
So
yeah,
the situation currently is so hard.
I saw the photograph and the damage, and a lot of there were a lot of
Yes.
dead animals in that region. Did the fire reach the Phyllomedusa land, and
No,
or no?
fortunately, no.
No.
Just around.
Okay. But San Martin was if affected a lot as well.
Yes. Yeah, yeah, yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Around the project, around Fireland, we were covered of fires, but luckily we wasn't affected. We
Okay,
weren't affected.
that's nice. So let's go into the issues of frog conservations, amphibian conservations. So what are some major issues in the amphibian conservation field in Peru, if we go into a little more detail about that?
Okay. The main problems of the conservation of Peru in the amphibian matter is basically that the people doesn't care about
Hmm.
those animals. So the government doesn't care and don't finance usually those type of projects. So sadly, not much people care about the conservation of them, and just if people foreigners
Hmm.
go to Peru can start a project.
Are there issues with the the fungal issues that there are certain fungal issues in North America, similar
Yes,
problems in Peru?
yes, basically in some places you need to take care about the Batrachochytridium neurobatidis or salamandriborans, some fungus that can decrease big populations of amphibians in just a few years.
Okay.
So this is also a big problem. This with the fires and the poaching is decreasing the population, and if no one start a conservation project about amphibians, probably they will die. Maybe years ago you could see a lot of more species, but sadly with this situation you can see
Yeah.
devasted areas without any type of life.
Yeah, and I think I saw a lot of deforestation for crops and
Yes.
stuff in that region as well, farming. So that also reduces the cover for where frogs basically live and breed. You explained about a little bit about the first pillar, and there's biotrade in that. And so what is biotrade, and like how does it help in conserving and improving the population of frogs or amphibians?
Okay. Okay. Well, the biotrade is the set of activities for make use of the biodiversity in a place with an ethical and responsible use. We are going to work with the breeding of a part of the frogs
Mm.
to sorry. Well, we are going to breed some of the animals just for the introduction, and other part of those animals are going to be exported to keep our financial system. We need to can take care of ourselves without help of other institutions because
Mm.
sometimes the donations are difficult and we need to take care of our activity.
Mm.
And well, this helps also in the fight of the poaching because we offer a sustainable source of animals that are raised ethically. We can fight this black market with animals that are going to be cheap, and people won't compete with this, so they won't want
Mm.
to poach animals that doesn't have value.
And I think when you are breeding the population and you're monitoring the numbers of the population, this automatically makes the thing more uh, sustainable automatically, I guess. And
Yes.
um, s- who's like are you also designing landscapes for making the frogs um, for breeding the frogs and stuff, or is it like or is it automatically happening in the land itself, or
Well, we are reforesting, also make some ponds and streams, so we provide of masses of water to increase the population of
Hmm.
amphibians. Around our project, there are a lot of deforested areas, and probably all the animals that are around want to come to our small sanctuary to live. And well, they are going to live freely, and we are just going to raise the clutches so animals won't suffer. We want to preserve the animals and let them do their own activity.
is the Phylloland going to be like a research station as well?
Yes, we,
Okay.
we want to do a place where the researchers or institutions can go and meet and maybe work with us to see all the project.
So your Kickstarter funding will also include research station and all that, building projects, landscaping, and
Yes.
are there like more things in that project stream? And like, can you give me some examples of what are the main components of your Phylloland project now?
Well, mainly we need to to continue building the areas where we are going to raise the clutches of the frogs. At this moment, all the animals are in a very good moment. All animals breeding,
Mm.
all area it's a little bit better with the life, more trees, b- more plants, and well, we still need to remove some plants that are invasive. We still have a lot of work to do there, but we'll see if we have enough support to continue in this because it's a lot of effort put on this work.
So all the forestation effort and digging effort, you will have to bring in more people from the local communities.
Yes, even we have some local people working with us, and we expect with work with more people from this country, and that's important because they can make his family's friends to understand the importance of the amphibians, watching the place, watching what are we doing there, and well, maybe they want help us in the future and stop making fires, making a lot of holes in the floor just
Yeah,
for plant some
yeah,
potatoes, some yucca,
yeah.
and maybe understand that they have a better place
Mm.
for the money that is to preserve their areas, maybe do some tours, and people pay a lot of money for the tours, so probably they can find a better source of incomes than just destroy the planet.
Yeah. And what are some of the species that are in that area? I remember seeing Phyllomedusa gamba. I remember seeing
Chaparroi,
uh,
there is chaparroi in
Chaparroi tarsius.
Thailand.
And what else is in that area? Uh, even in terms of reptiles.
Well, in our area there are a lot of species of amphibians, especially we are working on Phyllomedusa chaparroi. It's an animal that wasn't studied so much. And also there are species like the vipers. There are some vipers that
Mm.
you need to take care about them, but you also need to know that they are important also in the area to prevent the amount of rats or rodents that can be dangerous sometimes.
Oh,
So there are a lot of fauna that we are still trying to find. For example, one day, whenever you're referencing the ground, they could see a loro machaco. That's the common name. It's a Botrops milleniatus, one
okay.
emerald viper, tree viper.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
And we hope to continue working on preserve those animals because they are so important for us and also for Peru.
yeah. So what are the financial cost for running or making these sanctuary elements in that Phylloland space? Like in broad terms.
The issues of the financing of this project. Well, sadly, it's difficult to care about this big project because it's too much money spent and people sadly doesn't care much about the conservation and especially in places that they are not living. And well, we are trying to find people to want to support the project, but it's not easy. It's not easy because they have other problems currently, especially when in Spain was a hard situation due to the floods of Valencia.
Yeah,
So we are in a risky place right now.
I find unless unless the project gets really big exposure on big media channels, it it really is hard to get campaign pages out in front of people.
Yes.
Just because it's so much noise on so many things on the social media that things of importance sometimes get buried. What would be like Philoland going to look like when it gets funded, and like what will the future of that Philoland look like?
Yes, that's a very good question. We are so ambitious. We want to do a big project. A similar project that we can speak about is Tesoros de Colombia in Colombia. It's
Hmm.
a place that offers an amount of frogs raised ethically,
Hmm.
and with this fund, they can continue working on the protection of the area where they are working on. So we want to have a very good place to do researching. Also, maybe do some tours around Phylloland because they are going to see a small sanctuary with full of life, and we'll see if we can reach it because we have more and more ideas, but we need to think on the present because sadly we aren't in a good financial situation. But maybe in the future, with the support of everyone, we can do a place to live, a place to know about the conservation of the amphibians.
And would you also have option for volunteering and getting regular individual like normal people to come in and see apart from the tours and
Yes.
study?
Yes, that's another idea we have is to work with some volunteers to know about our project, and maybe they can be people from outside of Peru or even local people or just people from Lima. Don't know, but we want to make the people understand the importance of the frogs, and I think with this type of volunteer, they can understand what are we doing.
So in your team, who all are in herpetology
Who
and
conform the team, you mean?
yeah, from the team?
Okay. Yes. The project leaders are Daniel and Nathan, but
Mm.
this is confirmed by Marcelo, Eduardo, that they
Mm.
are financing currently the project. Jim, who is the owner of the land and provide us this place to recover and reforest it. And Daniela and Dan, that are the project leaders and technical responsibles of the project to do everything. And there are also other people working out there as me. And well, I hope we can continue working on this and maybe hire more people for the project because we are a small team.
And when you um, try to recover the land and create more population for the frogs, does it automatically create more um, fauna diversity, or you still have to intervene uh, to uh, increase the population of, let's say, the Bothrops viper snakes, or would that happen
We are
naturally?
mainly For this moment, we are working just with amphibians. So we
Amphibians.
are working on the spots of the amphibians. For example, also for the Androbates, the commonly wrong named poison dart frogs.
Yeah.
The Ranitomea usually uses the caps, plastic caps, and we prepare those caps so they can even breed on these places, better places that they can find in the nature.
Oh, okay.
And at this moment, we can see that this is working because we can monitorize and even see a lot of tadpoles in some of the caps and even the pair of adults taking care of their tadpoles.
Okay. So you're creating an artificial space where the breeding is assisted through those caps. So these are like
Yes.
bottle caps?
Bottle caps, or plastic caps,
Oh, cups.
just some, yes.
Oh, okay.
So we cut them, make some holes, and attach them for the plants or trees.
Okay. So it's kind of, yeah, I think I've seen um tree next to the tree there's a bottle attached.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Yes, sometimes bottles, sometimes containers, small containers,
hmm.
and that's working so good.
And in that land, do you also have like um South American bushmaster snakes? I think I saw
Yes.
one,
La case is muta,
Lachesis muta. It means
common
silent
name shushupe,
shushupe, and it means
shushupe in Peru.
silent death. What's the meaning
Yes.
of the, yeah? And
They are not easy to find in San Martin, but well, we saw some of them in the past in Loreto, and they are so big and so majestic. If you don't bother them, they won't bite you. But
okay.
sadly, most of the people that find them just kill them, and they are
Yeah,
so important too.
yeah, that's I think a problem in the jungles. When people find them, they kill these things.
Yes, and
Yeah.
that's a problem because the most number of attacks occur when you try to kill an animal. He defend himself.
Okay. When we talk about snakes in that area,
Yes,
um, like I mean, are vipers more aggressive?
it depends.
Depends.
The vipers, it depends on the genus. For example, the
Genus.
botrops, the common name uh,
Cordillans,
Hergon in
Hergons,
Ferdelans or Hergon.
Hergon.
They are so aggressive for anything and so nervous. But for example, the Lachesis, the Bushmasters are really calm, so big but so calm. They doesn't care about you, just if you bother them. But you need to care about all of them, even if they are aggressive animals. They don't do it for attack, just want to defend themselves. So all are important.
Okay, yeah. How long is the Kickstarter campaign going to run?
When is 30 days? 30 days. We are on the day 12, if I'm not bad. And
Hmm.
well, we are in the half of the goal, but we depend on reach the final goal of 50,000 euros to go ahead. Or
Okay.
maybe if we can't reach this goal, maybe make any association with some institutions as zoos or similars to go ahead with the project. But we need help because we spent too much money, too much effort, and we want to continue on this.
To which areas will the funding be allocated? Is it like construction? Um, or maybe, yeah, we already discussed that. So, and I'll just talk about the campaign uh, mechanism. So when you make a Kickstarter campaign, is it always like a 30-day campaign or is it something that you have set?
You need to work in a campaign so much time, not just launch it and expect that people go to donate you. You need to work and to make people understand the importance of your project, make them trust on you, and try even to be so transparent to them so they can know everything about you, about the project, about who is behind the project,
Hmm.
and well, try to make them understand that the project is going to be a positive project for Peru.
And are you getting any support from local universities or organizations, maybe in the nearby region?
For the moment, no. For the moment, no. We are trying to establish relations with international institutions, but don't know yet. We need to wait for the answer of those persons.
Okay. Did you find anything similar in Ecuador, Bolivia, Colombia,
In Ecuador, you can find a similar project that is named Wikiri. Also work
Wikiri?
with the biotrade and also wants to support the conservation by breeding amphibians. For example, the most interesting frog that they usually raise is the Ophaga sylvatica. I don't know the common name in Ecuador, but it's a big frog that usually people like because of the colors and the co.
And in biotrade,
Hmm.
is it are South American frogs exported a lot to Europe and North America and other places?
Yes, we pretend to export just with a few number of institutions. We want to do small associations with persons that want to work ethically with the amphibians. We don't want to be rich, just to a good project to preserve the frogs.
Yeah, that's people
Hmm.
in the modern cities and environment, they don't really see, they don't sometimes understand in order to conserve or preserve animals, sometimes uh yeah, like biotrade is a good activity. And it also gives access to biological to amphibians, to researchers, and study and uh, basically understand the behavior and uh, ecology of that area. Anything? Do you think there's anything else that we should cover about um, Phylloland? Phylloland?
Well, maybe we can speak that we are on it since 2020. We sadly couldn't find a good place until 2021 when we finally met with Jim, that is the owner of the land. And well, he was starting a good place. He even worked on the reforestation of his area. And well, with our work, we want to make this a really good place to work on. But luckily, we found a good person to associate that care about the place.
I think we did cover the overview of the project. We covered about the frog species, the biotrade aspect, and I think yeah we covered it a lot. Uh, so thank you, Hector. Like I think you've explained some of the like the big aspects of Phylloland, and I think there's even more information, obviously, on the Phylloland Kickstarter page, which I'll link
Yes,
at the bottom of this interview wherever this is posted. And this is a important part of a podcast about jungle medicines because frogs are like a barometer of the environment quality and
yes.
also the chemicals and the pollution in the area. And I'm really glad that there are people like you and Adan and Dani working in this sector of conserving forest. Yeah, nice talking to
So,
you, Hector, and I hope the Phylloland is
thank you
a
so much, Efrain.
success. And yeah, we'll connect later. Ciao.
Yes, okay.